we'll come to the deck later. I think this Gen Z doesn't like presentations. So she was asking a question, are you Gen Z? So, I have my son who's Gen Z. He's 24. I'm generation Brian Adams, so I'm 18 till I die. So stop growing. So between the combination of son and father, I'm a generation called Generation Confused, because my ways of life are slightly different. Actually terribly different from his ways of life. So, and a lot of volunteers who come to volunteer for mangrove marshals, a lot of young kids come down, and we've tried to figure out what kind of drives them, what motivates them, how do you kind of make it sure, because volunteering is not about only one, coming for only one episode. We want them to be engaged with volunteering forever. Even if they are not volunteering with us, they should actually understand that they're trying to solve a problem. So that's what we do. So Mangrove Marshals is a citizens initiative. We are not an NGO. We are not a trust. We don't seek charity. We just kind of involve volunteers. So the youngest we've had is a 6-year-old, and the oldest one we've had is an 80-year-old. So we get a broad mix of people who come and kind of volunteer with us. So I have actually curated a bit of a deck. We'll try to run it very quickly so that it doesn't become boring. Let me stand on the sidelines. Please. So the thing basically is, many of us come from coastal areas, but I'm assuming many, I know her, she comes from Meghalaya, they have no mangroves there. So lots of Bangaloreans may have not ever seen a mangrove. So these are, intertidal forests, which you typically see, on the, wherever you don't have a beach, or you get to see mangroves. And beach cleanup has become very, very fashionable. You see the Mirzas of the world, and some celebrities come and do the beach cleanup. We do the forest cleanup, so this is far more complicated than that. We can, and just for you to know, one quick question, if any of you know, which is the world's largest mangrove forest? Wonderful. So, and where is that? Is Bengal and Bangladesh, correct? Which is the second largest mangrove forest in the world?
I think Pondicherry.
It's close to that. It's close to Chidambaram district. Pichavaram, next to Chidambaram district, or close to Chidambaram district. The world's 5th largest mangrove forest is Krishna Godavari. Had it been any other country in the world, they would have made it a tourist attraction with millions coming in, and we are decimating them. So, this is a point to ponder, So. Okay, so we all came to know, a lot of youngsters came to know mangroves for the first time when the tsunami happened, in the southern states. Millions lost their lives, livelihoods, homes, and everything. We came to know of them because we realized that this is a barrier. But again, that's the least of our concerns, because 3/4 of all marine life is spawned in the mangrove forests of the world. So take away those mangrove forests, all marine life is gone, pretty much. Or even most of the sharks come and spawn inside the mangrove forest. So that's the level of importance. I don't know, any of you understand the concept called carbon sequestration? Have you heard of this term called carbon sequestration? So you would have heard, we've all gone to school. We breathe oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide. Trees breathe and exhale oxygen, but they also need oxygen. So they inhale oxygen as well, by the way. So they inhale a lot of oxygen, but they consume a lot of carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide. But what do they do with it? What does the tree do with it? So this is where a lot of schools go wrong, that they convert that into food. No. That's photosynthesis and some other stuff. But what happens is that the carbon dioxide is collected by the plants and the trees, and they convert it into carbon. So carbon gets sequestered inside the mangroves, correct? Mangrove tree sequesters anything between 3 to 8 times more carbon as compared to a normal tropical tree. I'm just trying to tell you that next time when you see a carbon, thank it, because you are alive because of that. So tomorrow, let's assume, close your eyes, no mangrove forest in the world. She's telling me 5 minutes. I have 5 minutes, or 5 minutes are gone? You have 5 minutes, okay, wonderful. So if there were no mangrove forests, I'm just trying to build a case where I'm telling you the importance. If there were no mangrove forest on this planet, none of us would be sitting in this room. We'll be actually buried somewhere. There's no question, because there'll be so much of carbon dioxide in the air. So we're trying to solve for that problem. Come. So mangroves are under threat. You know, our human behavior, the level of dumping we are doing, the way we are going ahead and acquiring land inside these coastal regions is all leading to huge amount of problems. And obviously these major mega events of tornadoes and everything kind of hitting the coast, obviously mangroves are in trouble. So, and we are in trouble because of that. So who we are and what we do. So 2018, 2017 end, some of us got together and we said, we used to see dumping inside mangroves, water bodies, and who would clean one fine day. And my inspiration is this guy called Afroz Shah. He was doing the Warsaw cleanup, and we said, why is it that he's able to, as a volunteer, get people to kind of come and do it? So we started this. We started very well, 5 of us, including 3 of my family members and 2 of my friends. And 6 months later, 5 of us, 3 of my family members and 2 of my friends. The only good thing which happened after that is people used to come and say, wow, great job, man, great job. And they will wave at us and walk away. And so it was disheartening initially, but then we realized that it was a very important thing we were doing. We would collect ration bags and keep them on the side. And then we also realized that how do you make it sure that it gets circular? Because just removing the waste from some place does not take care of the problem. We have to kind of get bodies involved, which is going to take that waste and take it to a logical conclusion. So we started working very closely with the municipal corporation. So this journey started then. On the 12th of April this year, we complete 200 episodes of a cleanup. We are the world's longest running mangrove cleanup program. Yeah. It's a completely volunteer-driven exercise. We do work with some corporates. They send volunteers. We don't charge them a rupee. We don't charge anybody a rupee. I fund the whole initiative myself. I have not taken a dime from anyone. But again, what we do is because of that, what is the beautiful thing which has happened is that we have become very frugal. We use industrial gloves. We give everybody gloves. But then people are encouraged to wash them and give it back to us so that next week the other volunteers who come, or if they come back, we give it back to them. So an average glove will last us for 20, 30 episodes. So you would have seen on beach cleanups, these guys carry those large blue and black colored bags. When you come to us, we'll not give you any of that. The sea itself throws you a lot of gunny bags. We use them. So we've frugal to that extent because I can't be causing a carbon footprint when I'm trying to kind of take care of that problem. Water bottles are taken from home and given it to volunteers. We don't encourage people to get those PET bottles. In fact, that is one of the reasons why a lot of corporates don't like working with us because they want tiffin boxes and beautiful t-shirts. So this is one t-shirt I funded for myself for some certain occasions. We don't have too many people kind of having these kinds of t-shirts. So that's who we are. The other thing which we do remarkably well is, for a long time we kept cleaning, numbers kept going up. But then we also realized that till the time the supply side is not taken care of, this problem will remain. So now we have become an advocacy platform. We work with schools, colleges, various stakeholder groups, and encourage them to do waste segregation at source. That's very, very critical. We can't lay claim to the credit. It's only 1 minute remaining. Wonderful. Yeah?
That's also over.
Okay, just give me 30 seconds. I'll just close my point. We've been rated for the past 3 to 4 years. Navi Mumbai has been rated one of the cleanest cities in the country. We always feature in the top 3. And some credit to some of the work we are doing. We're creating a culture of cleanliness and hygiene. And it's all being done through the volunteers network. So it's all volunteers who are coming and doing this.
Hi. I'm Prem. I'm running Sampark Sathi Foundation since the last 4 years and 2.5 years into operations. And I would love to move to the second slide. If you can see the diagram, and I would love for you to see it and share what you think it actually means. Anyone. It would also help me to make it clear for myself. This is what we actually do. This is our entire work. Sorry? Yeah, absolutely. We are the bridge between people and NGOs. What we do is we take problems from the slum areas across all thematic areas, be it health, education, human rights, skill and livelihood, or government welfare schemes. So people living in the slum areas have no idea who to reach out to when they are in need, right? There are a lot of NGOs, but people don't know that these NGOs exist for them. NGOs have been reaching out to people But do people have the platform to reach out and raise a concern of their own choice to the NGOs? I don't think there has been ever a platform where people can reach out. Nor they have the internet facility where they can just search for an NGO and avail those facilities, right? For example, let's say Goonj exist. We all know Goonj exist. But do people know in the slum areas that Goonj exist? No, right? So this is what we do. We take problems, all of their problems, we verify those problems. We verify the authenticity of those problems. Because why we verify is because resources are limited in the economy, right? We cannot give it to each and every person out there. So we verify those resources, and once we have verified, we collaborate with the NGOs that have expertise in that particular problem. Cases range from eye cataract operations. Slow. Cases range from eye cataract operations, wheelchair, tricycles, documentation, someone needing Aadhaar card, someone needing Abha card, and someone needing career counseling, mentoring, scholarship, someone's facing domestic violence, someone facing child rights issues, I can go on. There's shelter homes, someone needing to shift to old age shelter homes, someone needing drug de-addiction centers. Yeah, all of these cases we do take in. We also have a platform on our website where any one of you can go ahead and raise a concern if you come across anyone who is in need. So where do the volunteers come in, right? That's the core of this part. So if you see, we have a network of Sathis with us. We can move to the next slide. So this is Bharat. Bharat, despite having all the documents, he did not know where to go. We just redirected him to a government scheme that exists by the government. What the volunteer did was, volunteer single-handedly managed the entire case. The role of the volunteer was to help Bharat combine all the documents, compile all the documents in one place, and if he was missing any document that the government needed, the volunteer would help them apply that document. The volunteer will also jot down the entire case study of Bharat, what he has gone through, what he has witnessed in all his life, why he was not able to get a wheelchair for himself or a tricycle for himself. So volunteer takes care of the entire process, stays with the beneficiary throughout the process until the case is completed. But why do we need the volunteer in the first place? I personally and the organization personally feels that these people have been exploited by the authorities. The authorities, the word authority signifies power, right? And power has always been used somewhere to sort of show that, display that a sense of authority over the less privileged people. And this is why whenever a volunteer accompanies a beneficiary, that beneficiary feels so empowered that they themselves raise their voice. And once they feel that their voice is taken care of, our work, most of the work by the volunteer has been done. This happens the same when the volunteer accompanies the beneficiary to the hospitals also. In the hospitals, when they go, again, even the guards exploit the beneficiary. They are like, no, I don't know where to go. You just find it yourself. Somewhere like that. And they are so hesitant, even the beneficiary is so hesitant to ask where to go, where does he have to go. They don't ask these questions like us. So all of this, that's why we need a volunteer, a Sathi. We call our volunteer Sathi. A Sathi, if you know, it's a Hindi term, which means friend. A friend is there to help you out. That's where why we term this Sathi is because to actually so that the beneficiary feels that there is someone out there for them. That's what we feel, right? That's the meaning of a friend, right? There's someone out there to help you out through the process, through the process of life, I think. I would love to state some numbers here. So in the past 2.5 years, we have resolved around 60,000 plus cases across all of these themes. Sorry? Okay. And we have engaged around 800 plus volunteers throughout the process. And I would love to state the story of our first ever volunteer. She is a Gen Z. She was 21 when she started, and she joined as a case solver. She used to facilitate all the cases. Then she moved on to the other roles, graphic designing. She handled social media as well. And she became part of the core team. She started recruiting other volunteers. And she soon became a paid intern also, eventually. She became a paid employee also. And currently today, she's a co-founder with us. And so that Gen Z became the co-founder. That has been our success throughout. That was our first volunteer, and she has been with us throughout the process. She's also a psychology student, master's student of psychology. So most of the volunteers that we have stayed with us for 2 hours, 2 years, more than 2 years. These volunteers mainly come from North Campus. So basically, we work in Delhi NCR. Just to put it out there, I should have done it earlier. And most of these are college students from LSR, Miranda, Stephens, SRCC, and we asked them that, are you sure? We asked them, the volunteer leaders. So there's a hierarchy where there's a volunteer manager, then there's a volunteer leader, and then there are volunteers. All of this cycle is, we call them the Sathis. The volunteer leaders are recruited by the volunteer manager, and under each volunteer leader, there are 20 to 25 to 30, depending on the capacity and time period they can devote, are the number of volunteers. So how we do it is, how we try to retain these volunteers is through a connection. So once the volunteer manager establishes the connection with the volunteer leader, that then trickles down to the volunteers as well, the cultural thing that we do. It's a value system where we jot down the case stories, where case stories form as the root of all the connection with the beneficiary. Also, they feel that there's a connection with the beneficiary in the sense, once they know the story, they love it. They want to do more cases. They resolve 3 cases and they earn a certificate. But every time they do more than 3 cases, even after they have earned a certificate, they go for 4 cases, they go for 5 cases, 10 cases, 15 cases, and so on. No worries, no worries. I'm done. You can take the questions later. Thank you for listening to me.
VolCon experience is the very first one for me, and I'm just absolutely blown away by seeing all of you. Incredible people, what a great turnout, and I've seen people with such incredible energy, and it's really fantastic, the work that all of you are doing. And I've been groaning about how we are grappling with volunteers and why aren't we able to scale it up, and you guys seem to have all the answers already. So I'm just over the moon that we have an opportunity for me and my team to talk with all of you and connect with all of you. So my name is Karthik Satyanarayan. I started this NGO with another co-founder of mine called Geeta Seshamani. We started it in 1995, so I'm ancient. But it really was my passion to just do this, to work with wild animals. And I grew up in Bangalore. This is my city. And I used to bunk school. Thankfully, there were no cell phones, so my mother couldn't phone up and check where I was. I would tell her I'm studying at a friend's place, and me and another friend would bike to Banarghatta, which is the national park nearby. For those of you who are out from here. Have you found my talk yet? Excellent. Okay. So my time hasn't started yet. Remember that. No, can't start till she's got the talk ready. How can you do that? That's not fair. I was just chit-chatting. Anyway, so I would take this bike. We'd go to Banarghatta, park the bikes, hike about 12 kilometers into the forest. And every full moon night, we'd get into the forest, sit on a treetop near a waterhole and watch wildlife, wild herds of elephants and bears and mongoose and all kinds of wildlife, including a leopard. And that changed my perspective to life about how all of us, our lives are very similar to a rodent in a sewer. I mean, we also consume, reproduce, and die, and we leave nothing behind, for the planet that's given so much to us. So my goal was all about trying to make a difference. Are you ready? She's still not figured it out. My 8 minutes will be over. So anyway, the idea was to try and create an organization where we could partner with the communities that work closely with wildlife, exploit wildlife in an unsustainable manner, because they don't know any better sometimes, right? and to work with people, with the governments, and with volunteers. That was the main goal. So I started off my life as a volunteer. My first volunteering job was with the New York Zoological Society in 1992. And well, this is to show you how we work closely with children, women, people, and wildlife. Anyway, I have a quick video, and if she cuts me off, then you'll have to just live with that. Anyway, so I must say that our work will not be possible if we did not work closely with tribal communities that exploited wildlife. And the reason our logo, if you will notice, is a sloth bear, is because all of you or some of you may have seen bears being danced on the street. It's now a practice that's gone completely. But we worked, it took us 17 years of working with the communities, but we worked with the women, sent 16,500 children to school, paid for their school fees, helped them battle vices like child marriage, where girls aged 11, 12 were getting married off. And we got them education, skill training, etc. And let's see if this works. Okay. Quick video.
So who was it you wanted to meet the most?
Raju,
Anybody else?
Kartik and Geetha,
And why did you want to meet Raju especially?
because he was my inspiration.
And how was that to meet Kartik and Raju at the same time?
Exciting, and I felt like my head was about to explode. And they're my heroes.
I am so glad that Wildlife SOS has ended dancing bears in India. We even met Adi, the last dancing bear. All of the bears here are so happy. We are just making enrichments for them right now.
It's just been such a fantastic experience getting to see animals that I usually wouldn't see and getting to work with them and enrich their lives. So some of the activities that we've been doing are such as bear enrichments, like in the background. We're currently working on a bear structure. We've been feeding the elephants and setting up different things for them, cleaning their pools. It's just been a fantastic experience.
I would say that my experience here is very unique, I would say, because I've never done this before.
And I support Wildlife SOS by selling my artwork of wild animals and using the funds and awareness from that to raise money for wildlife, including adopting some animals from Wildlife SOS.
वाइल्डलाइफ एसओएस ने हमें शुरू से एजुकेशन सपोर्ट दिया है। हाल ही 2024 में मेरा बी फार्मा कंप्लीट हुआ है और इसके बाद मैंने अभी यहाँ पर वाइल्डलाइफ एसओएस में इंटर्नशिप के लिए आई हूँ।
To describe my experience here in 2 words, I would say it has been eye-opening and rewarding.
Yeah, gratifying and educational.
Amazing and knowledgeable.
This week has taught me a lot, and it was very eye-opening to help these elephants and spend time with them.
I love Wildlife SOS, and they're doing brilliant work, and they should keep it up. Namaste.
So that kind of gave you a brief thing, and this year is our 30th year of functioning. So we've finished 30 years of successful operations. I won't get into the details, but we do a lot of work with communities on the ground. And these are the lessons that we've learned, that without collaboration, you really can't move forward. And passion, patience, perseverance, and persistence, this is kind of our 4 Ps to move forward to the stage. These are the dancing bears. You can all go on and see my TED Talk. I won't waste time, otherwise I'll get something thrown by Megha at me. She's right here too. So these are the kind of alternative livelihood, skill development, skill building that we've done. So this man was earning 100 rupees a day with a bear. He was going to be sent to jail because he was breaking the law. He was also violating a lot of laws in India and destroying wildlife. But we gave him an auto rickshaw instead, and we've changed 3,000 families like this. This is just one example. And he was earning 6 times more with that. And the bear was brought to our safety in our sanctuary. And we rescued 628 bears across India. We set up 4 centers: Bangalore, Bhopal, thank you, Agra, and West Bengal. And this was the goal of working with the women and the children. I found that the women were the most intelligent species in the whole community, and it really helped working with them because they understood the difference. Skill building, we taught them carpet weaving, tailoring, embroidery, and they actually make a lot of products now. And I'm looking for collaboration so we can scale it up and do e-commerce and all of that, which is all foreign to us. And so this is the dignity and the freedom we give to the animals as well as to the people. Of course, we work with elephants as well, and this is our elephant hospital and ambulance. It's the first one in India. And then this is a fun video. I don't know if it'll play. Okay. Anyway, so thank you very much. That's it.
I would now request all of our panelists to please get seated. So to start with you, Rohit, I know that when we were talking, you said that beyond cleanups, you also focus on educating school children, college children, and NSS children, right? On more awareness, more advocacy that you were doing. I want to understand if that program was pushed by the Gen Zs. Did you think of it yourself? How were Gen Z involved in doing more advocacy and awareness programs? How did that program come in shape?
Actually, if you remember when I was presenting, I was talking about a lot of these volunteers coming to us, and one of the things which we realized is that when the younger guys were coming in, the Gen Zs and beyond, and they were actually very inquisitive, and what we also realized is that unless they had a bigger picture in mind, they would not be very, very interested, because you have volunteers coming from all baskets, correct? And we respect all of them. So you have the first is the naysayers. So that's a challenge for us to kind of get them on our side. And then you have people who are fence sitters. Now, how do you kind of nudge them slightly and make them move in that direction? And then you have a lot of these young kids who are the Instagram volunteers. They love to come and post. I love them as well because they spread the word, okay? And then you have converted some of them into becoming regular volunteers. But you have to kind of make it sure that you have to kind of engage with them, and advocacy is the best platform for us to engage with them and tell them the whole story. And I wanted to tell my whole story in a bigger manner, but 8 minutes is 8 minutes.
Yes, thank you. So talking about social media and how they come in, Karthik, I wanted to ask you if you've seen Gen Z using this platform, and has it helped your activism for wildlife?
Absolutely. I think Gen Z is an incredible market to tap. I mean, for lack of a better word, I think they really know how to ask questions. They want transparency. They want to do the right thing, and they question things which is necessary, and they have the ability to use tech in a very savvy way. They're very tech savvy. So we've had them use Instagram, TikTok, every possible social media platform out there to expose what really goes on in places. Like, for example, we run an ethical elephant sanctuary, but there are a lot of questionable elephant facilities in Jaipur which masquerade as an elephant rescue center, but are actually tourist traps where they abuse animals and they beat them and they paint them and things like that near the Amer Fort. So a lot of Gen Zs have gone there and done exposés, and they've tried and supported us in the past. So these guys really are brave, they're courageous, they can get out there. But yes, there are some challenges to working with them. They like flexibility. They like to be able to do remote stuff.
Which is fair.
Which is absolutely fair. And we just have to learn to roll with the punches. And, I adore them. As you saw, a lot of our people are Gen Z in our team, and a lot of our volunteers. You saw the videos of all those testimonials. Those are all Gen Z volunteers who are out there helping us, and they will not hesitate to do the dirtiest of tasks if required. But I think some of our volunteers are right here. Tripti, she was there just like a few days ago at our elephant facility. So Yeah, and I'd welcome all of you to please come if you have a chance. We have a bear and a tiger rescue center right here in Bangalore, 45 minutes away, maybe with traffic 2.5 hours. But otherwise, we have facilities across in India, in Agra, Kashmir. I sometimes forget Pune, etc. We'd love to collaborate with everybody and learn more about how you guys have succeeded, because there's no point in reinventing the wheel. Thank you.
Thanks, thank you. And Prem, I know that your deck we weren't able to play fully, but I know that your volunteers have resolved a lot of cases ranging from voter IDs to heart surgeries, and that's a wide range of activities the volunteers do, right? How do you train so many volunteers to handle such different types of cases?
So there are standard SOPs for every case that we do, and so we have sorted out with our NGO partners, in the sense that, let's say for heart hole cases, we have sorted out with our NGO partner, which is Child Heart Foundation. They do these surgeries which cost somewhere around 3.5 lakhs for free. And there are standard SOPs, like this is the process, this is what you do. You go to the beneficiary, you meet them, and you jot down their story. This is where the office of the Child Heart Foundation is. You ask them to come there, and then you meet them, you stay with them. This is the standard SOP across all. For example, let's say it's a wheelchair case, the documents mentioned are they are specifically mentioned in the SOP already. So different cases, different SOPs with the minor edits across all SOPs, so yeah.
Right, thanks. So I have questions flowing in, but I have another question for you, Rohit. You have also said that, while we were talking, you also said that you have created 300 champions of change, right? What does it take for a one-time volunteer to become a long-term champion? Somebody who just joins you for one cleanup, how do you get them to become a long-term champion?
So for us, every episode we have with a new volunteer, I personally spend a lot of time taking them through the whole ecosystem, and we also try to explain to them the criticality of this ecosystem on their individual lives, because unless and until you give reason for them, it's just to explode that question. All of us stay in particular cities, So if I was to ask people from Bangalore, would they want Bangalore to be a better city? The answer would be a resounding yes. Nobody wants Bangalore to be a hellhole, correct? But nobody wants to take responsibility because the problem has not been linked directly to them. So if you take care of your local ecosystem, then in that case, you take care of the bigger problem. Correct. So we try to kind of link it back to the problem they are trying to solve. So they become champions of change. So I'm not a great fan of huge numbers of volunteers coming. In fact, there are times when we have 250 volunteers landing up and I get goosebumps. I don't know what the hell to do with them.
What a happy problem to have.
Yeah, no, but then I require champions to take them to various locations and so on and so forth. I would rather have people come in, in smaller batches, and then become champions of change, go to another pocket and take care of them. Because we are not into this for our personal glory. We don't have an organization running, correct? So we have a movement running, correct? So we are a movement. So that is the reason why for us, every episode is a champion of change. And the beautiful thing is, because when they put it up in social media, when they have conversations about it, we randomly get people coming in. So I get calls from Bangalore, can we come? I said, no, please take care of Bangalore. Yeah. Because, it's fashionable for people to come from great distances. But if you have a problem at your home, I would rather have you take care of that. Don't come to my backyard and clean up for me. We will take care of that.
Thanks. So now I'll take the questions from the audience, and any of you can take it. And so there's a question from VK. I don't know who that is. I don't think it's who so Gen Z volunteering itself is a challenge all of you talk about. Are you guys worried about Gen Alpha? Will they be in volunteering now that they are always glued to the digital screens and media? Do you think so?
You guys want to take it? You take it. No, as I said,
I to answer. So we have people who. Okay. Yes.
Did you direct it at any specific person?
So the thing basically is they in fact it's our responsibility to get them there. The reason is Gen Z and Gen Alpha, they're actually more because they're born in the digital era, they want to do a lot of stuff virtually. It's great, a lot of stuff can be done virtually, but again, taking care of aspects of the planet like mangrove cleanup, you actually have to come once, whenever you're in Bombay, give me a call, one of the Saturdays. It's a nauseating experience getting inside the mangroves during these peak summer ones. It's extremely humid. We don't even have plastic and other waste. It's also organic waste which is rotting. Imagine that high level of humidity. 15, 20 minutes into the system, you really want to step out, you know. But unless and until people experience, see, if I'm a problem creator, I have to be a problem solver. Because, I'll just extend the logic if you allow me 30 seconds. Navi Mumbai has 18.5 lakh residents. We have one of the best managed municipal corporations in terms of waste management. We have 3,500 employees. When people complain in front of me that the municipal corporation is not doing a great job, my answer to them is very simple. Imagine if 18.5 lakh people were to put their dump onto the road, do you really think 3,500 people can clean up? They are actually supplementing your effort. They are not the primary cleaners. You are supposed to take care of your waste. And that's the message even Generation Alpha has to understand. Because they're bigger consumers as well, actually. They're consuming too much. Yes.
I had something to add to that. Very, very helpful question. I think we've noticed that a lot of Gen Alpha that comes to us and Gen Z also that come to us, they comment to me later on that your facility, I mean, the work over here was so connecting that I didn't miss my phone. Normally, and they confess to me that, if I'm not with my phone or my phone is not touching my body, I get anxiety. And this is a real comment I heard just a few days ago. But, I've been here and I've not missed my phone for the first time, that I'm able to put my phone away and focus on doing something and contributing and giving back to society. So I think if the volunteering activity is really engaging, and yeah, by all means, harness the digital advantage if we can. But if the activity is engaging, I think they will step away. So it's not that it's impossible. You wanted to add something?
Yeah. So I have my niece and nephew. My nephew is 12 years old and my niece is 8 years old. They are in US. So my niece calls me and she tells me that I joined this animal club where they go and feed the animals. And so based on this incidents, I feel that it's about conditioning, how you create an environment around them where we practice empathy, right? So whenever they are in India, I take them to the slum areas and then show them that this is what people are going through, right? And they feel it. They actually feel it. So I personally feel it's about how you condition them, how you, conditioning happens through the immediate environment, right? Through friends, through family, through school. So it's all about creating that environment, I believe. And be it Gen Z, Gen Alpha, or any of us, I believe, right? So that's what I...
Yeah, I see there are a lot of questions for each of you, but they'll be around for lunch and you can all catch them up. Another question I want to ask is from Open Grad, that do you think that social responsibility should be a subject in the academics for next generation to understand the concept of volunteer and its impact? And I'll request 20-second answers, please.
Yes, the short answer is yes, absolutely. It's essential that we start building into the curriculums in schools, colleges, every institution, the responsibility of social communication and social give back. It's absolutely essential.
So somebody who wants to say no.
No, there's no here. I think it's absolutely critical. In fact, for the longest, when we were students, we used to have a civics class. But it was more academic. I think we have to kind of fine tune it, make it much more sharper, where people have to start looking at impact, social impact, because at the end of the day, the problem starts with us, and we have to solve for the problem. So.
No, I think it's already happening in few of the courses. I think it's already there. Social
responsibility. Sitting at VolCon and saying no, you don't have to include it. That's the most contradictory thing you can say. Yes, that's true.
I don't need the slide, but I think what is happening is we are trying to make everything very institutional. So we are trying to make everything very institutional. And my experience with Mangrove Marshals is you have to make it community and you have to make it family based, because you can't pass on the responsibility to the schools at the end of the day or the offices. When you say corporate social responsibility for volunteering, to me it's a divergence. It is CSR to me is citizen social responsibility. Corporates is a bunch of citizens meant for a particular goal. So get those people out as individuals, not as employees of the organization. Some of them want to kind of actually do really good work. So there's no
Correct.
reason why we don't want to kind of harness their individual potential.
Correct.
I also want to add that one more really key critical need for that being a part of our day-to-day lives and in education institutions is to build empathy, because with the digital era, I think people are thinking more about themselves. Everything is all about being selfish, and what can you do to move forward yourself? So it's important for people to start building empathy, kindness, compassion to people around you, not just people, but also non-human animals and human animals, both of them.
Absolutely. I have questions that are specifically for Prem. I want Swapnil, VK and Shiny Das to raise their hands so that Prem can meet you at lunch and answer your questions. I want to close it on time so I don't keep people from lunch. There's an announcement that she wants to make.
Just 5 minutes. So I just wanted to know, is anyone bags on the ground floor? Anyone? Yeah, bags. So please, before lunch, you can just keep it on the first floor, as they have some event and everything, so the things might get misplaced. And we have the last 5 minutes, just the feedback form is again out. You can just share your feedback there. Over to you.
Very similar to your car is parked here, this is the number, please remove it. Before this time, there's a very similar conversation to that. So last, I want to ask all of you to say, share one thing that you think has worked great working with Gen Zs. And you could choose to talk about one challenge or one thing that's worked great, and then we can close and people can, and in the meantime you all can do the feedback. But one thing if you can think of that's worked really well because you've been engaging Gen Zs, or that you had to innovate because Gen Zs are not flexible and they want impact.
I think, should I?
Yeah, go on.
I think for us it was visible impact. So whenever a beneficiary received eye cataract operation or a wheelchair, they would see it through their own eyes, and all their senses were involved basically. They could see the emotions, right? I feel an experience is fully complete when all your senses are involved, all your 5 senses are involved. So that way they could see the emotions, they could sense it, and that's why they wanted to continue feeling those emotions probably. So visible impact.
I would say that Gen Z visiting us, we always try and encourage them to come and see, because seeing is believing. You are not going to believe what's going on unless, I mean, it can be very well curated on digital media, but when you come and see it, I mean, dirty as it is, ugly as it is, it's important to see what's going on the ground. And once they come and see it, we found that they just transform into not being that everything is disgusting. They become incredibly patient, willing to explore, curious, and they appreciate the transparency that seeing brings to them. So we found that a really great tool.
Sorry. Apart from the purple colored hair and the blue colored hair, sometimes they come with, so they obviously add color to the whole event. The amount of energy they bring in is the exuberance they bring in. So once they get committed to the particular cause, you can clearly sense that there's no turning back. So they bring in a lot of energy and exuberance, which actually rubs on to the other people. So, apart from the color and the exuberance, I think it's going great,
Right, thanks. With that, we would like to close. Do we have the feedbacks? Do we not have the feedbacks? Thanks. If you don't have the feedbacks, let's lock the room. Yes. I'm not keeping people from lunch.
To add on to Prem's comment on alpha and VK's question, I resonate with Prem's example because I wanted to tell you something. Wherever I go to volunteering, where I organize volunteering for my organization, I always take my niece along with me because, one thing that all of us need to understand is this generation is a lot of, they observe a lot. Okay, I've been observing this in my home, in my office also. Whenever I take them for volunteering, they observe a lot and they replicate what you do. Okay, so if you want to reap the benefit of the fruit, you have to sow the seed of what they want to, right? So for volunteering, you have to give them a taste of volunteering. And one example that I want to give you is, my niece is very good at studies, she's always a topper, okay? She volunteers, my sister takes the tuitions, okay? This niece, she volunteers, she knows the math concepts very well, right? She comes, she said, my sister is busy with my office work, right? She comes, can I do that tuition to him? Because I know the concept very well. right? So, like I said, you want to give them a taste of volunteering, and you have to sow the seed so that you reap the fruit in the later stage. I think that's very important when it comes to alpha generation. VK, this is for you. Yeah.
I think they live in the unknown territory. And when they are in the unknown territory, unknown creates a sense of curiosity. And I feel curiosity breeds energy. They have a lot of energy. So you redirect that energy towards volunteering, I believe.